What if the key to a wiser, more fulfilling life has been hiding in plain sight for over 2,000 years? Stoicism, an ancient philosophy practiced by some of history's greatest minds, offers timeless wisdom that's as relevant today as it was in the bustling streets of ancient Rome. In this video, we'll explore 25 powerful Stoic quotes on wisdom, each one a guiding light to help you navigate life's challenges with clarity, resilience, and purpose. Whether you're facing stress at work, struggling with self-doubt, or simply seeking a deeper sense of meaning, these quotes will show you how to transform your mindset and take control of what truly matters. By the end of this video, you'll not only understand the profound insights of Stoicism, but also discover practical ways to apply them in your daily life. So, are you ready to unlock the wisdom of the Stoics and take the first step toward a more intentional and fulfilling existence? Let's dive in. Now, let's turn our attention to the first quote, a profound insight from Seneca. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. At its core, this statement reveals a universal truth about the human experience. Our minds have a remarkable ability to create scenarios far worse than what actually exists. Think about it. How often do we find ourselves spiraling into worry about things that never come to pass? Whether it's fretting over a difficult conversation, imagining the worst-case outcome of a decision, or fearing rejection, much of our suffering stems not from reality but from the stories we tell ourselves. Stoicism teaches us that these self-created fears and anxieties are not only unnecessary but also within our power to dismantle. Consider this: when you're lying awake at night, replaying a mistake or worrying about the future, the pain you feel isn't caused by the event itself, it's fueled by your thoughts about it. Seneca reminds us that by focusing on what's truly within our control, our perceptions, judgments, and responses, we can free ourselves from the grip of imagined suffering. For example, imagine you're preparing for a big presentation at work. Your mind might race with thoughts of failure, judgment, or embarrassment, but in reality, none of those outcomes have happened yet. The stress you're feeling is entirely self-generated. Stoicism invites us to step back, assess the situation rationally, and ask ourselves, is this problem real or is it a product of my imagination? By doing so, we can redirect our energy toward what we can control, our preparation, our mindset, and our effort, rather than wasting it on hypothetical fears. This quote isn't just a philosophical idea, it's a practical tool for living a calmer, more intentional life. When we learn to distinguish between real challenges and imagined ones, we reclaim our peace of mind and focus on what truly matters. And that's where the power of Stoicism lies. It doesn't just tell us to stop worrying, it gives us the tools to do so. Next, we'll explore how to put this wisdom into action with practical steps to apply Seneca's insight in your daily life. Because understanding the quote is one thing, living it is where the transformation begins. Now that we've unpacked Seneca's wisdom, let's dive into how we can bring this powerful insight into our everyday lives. One of the most effective ways to apply this quote is through mindfulness practices. By training ourselves to stay present, we can catch those moments when our minds start to spiral into imagined fears. For instance, when you notice yourself worrying about something that hasn't happened yet, pause and take a few deep breaths. Ask yourself, is this real or is it just my imagination running wild? This simple act of grounding yourself in the present can help you break free from the cycle of unnecessary suffering. Another practical tool is journaling. Writing down your thoughts can be incredibly revealing. When you put your worries on paper, you often realize how exaggerated or unfounded they are. Try this exercise at the end of each day. Write down the things that caused you stress. Then categorize them into real problems and imagined fears. Over time, you'll start to see patterns and gain clarity about what truly deserves your energy. This practice not only helps you distinguish between real and imagined challenges, but also builds self-awareness, a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy. Let's look at a historical example to see this principle in action. Consider the story of Thomas Edison, who faced countless failures while inventing the light bulb. Instead of letting the fear of failure paralyze him, Edison chose to focus on what he could control, his persistence and willingness to learn from each setback. He famously said, "I have not failed, I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." By refusing to let imagined fears of failure dictate his actions, Edison turned potential suffering into a stepping stone for success. His story is a testament to the power of focusing on reality rather than the stories we tell ourselves. Incorporating these practices into your life doesn't require a complete overhaul. Start small. The next time you catch yourself worrying about something that hasn't happened, take a moment to pause and reflect. Ask yourself, is this worth my energy? Over time, you'll find that you're better equipped to handle life's challenges with clarity and calm. And that's the beauty of Stoicism. It's not just about understanding wisdom, it's about living it. With these tools in hand, let's move forward to our next quote, where we'll explore how the quality of our thoughts shapes the happiness of our lives. Because as Marcus Aurelius reminds us, the mind is a powerful force, one that can either imprison us or set us free. Now, let's turn our attention to a profound insight from Marcus Aurelius. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. This quote cuts to the heart of Stoic philosophy, reminding us that our inner world, our thoughts shapes our outer reality. Think about it, the way we interpret events, the stories we tell ourselves, and the beliefs we hold all influence how we experience life. If our thoughts are clouded by negativity or irrational fears, our happiness suffers. But if we cultivate clarity, positivity, and rationality, we create a foundation for lasting well-being. Stoicism teaches us that while we can't always control what happens to us, we can control how we respond. This begins with mastering our thoughts. Marcus Aurelius, as a Stoic practitioner and Roman emperor, understood the weight of this responsibility. He knew that a mind filled with chaos or negativity would lead to a life of turmoil, while a mind grounded in reason and virtue could weather any storm. His personal writings, collected in Meditations, reveal how he constantly worked to refine his thinking, ensuring his thoughts aligned with wisdom and truth. So, how does this apply to us? Imagine you're stuck in traffic. One person might spiral into frustration, cursing the delay and letting it ruin their day. Another might use the time to reflect, listen to a podcast, or simply enjoy a moment of stillness. The external event is the same, but the quality of their thoughts, and thus their experience, is entirely different. This is the power Stoicism highlights. By choosing to focus on what's within our control and framing our thoughts positively, we can transform even mundane or challenging situations into opportunities for growth and peace. But cultivating quality thoughts isn't just about avoiding negativity. It's about actively nurturing a mindset of gratitude, resilience, and purpose. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself to focus on the present moment and to appreciate the beauty of life, even in its simplest forms. He wrote, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." This practice of intentional thinking helps us shift our perspective, allowing us to see the good even in difficult circumstances. The impact of this mindset goes beyond fleeting moments of happiness. Over time, consistently choosing positive, rational thoughts builds emotional resilience. It helps us face challenges with courage, maintain inner peace during uncertainty, and find meaning in our experiences. In essence, the quality of our thoughts becomes the lens through which we view the world, and that lens determines whether we see life as a series of burdens or a journey filled with opportunities. As we reflect on Marcus Aurelius' wisdom, let's consider how we can apply it in our own lives. What thoughts are you allowing to take root in your mind? Are they serving you or are they holding you back? By taking small, deliberate steps to improve the quality of your thoughts, you can begin to shape a happier, more fulfilling life. And with that in mind, let's explore how we can put this principle into practice in our next segment, where we'll dive into actionable strategies for cultivating quality thoughts every day. Now that we've explored the profound impact of our thoughts on happiness, let's dive into practical ways to cultivate quality thoughts in our daily lives. One of the most effective tools is daily affirmations. These are positive statements that help rewire your mind, replacing self-doubt or negativity with confidence and clarity. For example, starting your day by saying, "I am capable of handling whatever comes my way," can set a tone of resilience and optimism. Affirmations work because they gradually shift your internal dialogue, aligning your thoughts with the outcomes you desire. Another powerful practice is gratitude. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself to appreciate the simple joys of life, writing, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive." By taking a few moments each day to reflect on what you're grateful for, whether it's a supportive friend, a beautiful sunset, or even the air you breathe, you train your mind to focus on abundance rather than lack. This shift in perspective can dramatically improve the quality of your thoughts, fostering a sense of contentment and peace. Cognitive reframing is another technique rooted in Stoic philosophy. It involves challenging negative or irrational thoughts and replacing them with more balanced, rational ones. For instance, if you catch yourself thinking, "I'll never succeed at this," reframe it to, "This is challenging, but I have the skills and determination to figure it out." This practice helps you break free from limiting beliefs and approach life with a growth mindset. Marcus Aurelius himself was a firm believer in the power of journaling to refine his thinking. His personal writings, later compiled as meditations, were essentially a form of self-reflection and mental discipline. Through journaling, he examined his thoughts, questioned his assumptions, and reinforced his commitment to virtue. You can adopt a similar practice by setting aside time each day to write down your thoughts, reflect on your actions, and identify areas for improvement. This not only helps you process emotions, but also creates a space for intentional thinking, allowing you to align your thoughts with your values. Incorporating these practices into your routine doesn't require a massive overhaul. Start small, perhaps with a morning gratitude list or a few minutes of journaling before bed. Over time, these habits will compound, helping you cultivate a mindset of clarity, positivity, and resilience. Remember, the goal isn't to eliminate all negative thoughts, but to become more aware of them and choose how you respond. By taking control of your inner dialogue, you can shape a life that reflects the best version of yourself. As we move forward, let's explore how these principles of thought mastery connect to another cornerstone of Stoicism, self-discipline. In the next segment, we'll uncover how mastering your desires and reactions can lead to true freedom and inner peace. Now, let's turn our attention to a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy, self-mastery. Epictetus once said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." At its core, this quote reminds us that true freedom isn't about external circumstances, it's about gaining control over our inner world. Self-mastery is the ability to govern your desires, emotions, and reactions rather than being ruled by them. It's the foundation of a life lived with intention and purpose. In Stoicism, self-discipline is not about deprivation or harsh self-control. Instead, it's about aligning your actions with your values and principles. Think of it as steering a ship through stormy waters. Without a steady hand on the wheel, the ship is at the mercy of the waves. But with skill and focus, you can navigate even the roughest seas. Similarly, when you master your impulses and emotions, you gain the ability to respond to life's challenges with clarity and composure, rather than being tossed around by every passing emotion or desire. Emotional regulation is a key aspect of self-mastery. Stoics believe that our emotions are not inherently good or bad. It's how we respond to them that matters. For example, anger might arise, but it's up to us whether we let it dictate our actions or channel it into constructive energy. By practicing mindfulness and self-awareness, you can observe your emotions without being consumed by them. This creates a space between stimulus and response, allowing you to choose how you act rather than reacting impulsively. True freedom, according to Stoicism, comes from this inner control. When you're no longer a slave to your desires or emotions, you're free to live authentically, guided by reason and virtue. This doesn't mean suppressing your feelings or denying your needs. It means understanding them, managing them, and ensuring they serve your higher goals rather than derailing you. In the next segment, we'll explore practical steps to develop self-mastery, from setting boundaries to practicing delayed gratification. These tools will help you cultivate the inner strength needed to live a life of true freedom and peace. Now, let's dive into the practical steps you can take to achieve self-mastery, a journey that begins with small, intentional actions. One of the most effective ways to start is by setting clear boundaries. Boundaries help you protect your time, energy, and focus, ensuring that you're not pulled in too many directions. For example, you might decide to limit distractions by turning off notifications during work hours or saying no to commitments that don't align with your priorities. These boundaries create a structure that allows you to stay centered and in control of your life. Another powerful tool is practicing delayed gratification. This means resisting the urge for immediate rewards in favor of long-term benefits. Think of it as planting a seed and patiently nurturing it, rather than expecting instant results. A simple way to practice this is by setting small, achievable goals and rewarding yourself only after you've completed them. Over time, this builds the mental muscle of discipline, helping you stay focused on what truly matters. Reflection is also a cornerstone of self-mastery. At the end of each day, take a few moments to review your actions and decisions. Ask yourself, did I act in alignment with my values? Where did I succeed and where can I improve? This practice of daily reflection helps you stay accountable to yourself and reinforces your commitment to growth. It's like having a personal coach guiding you toward becoming the best version of yourself. To bring this to life, consider the story of James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits. Early in his life, Clear faced a significant setback when a baseball injury threatened his athletic career. Instead of giving in to frustration, he used the principles of self-discipline to rebuild his life. He focused on small, consistent habits like writing daily, and over time, these efforts compounded into remarkable success. His journey shows how self-mastery, when practiced consistently, can transform not just your habits but your entire life. As you work on these steps, remember that self-mastery is not about perfection. It's about progress. Each small step you take brings you closer to the freedom and peace that come from being in control of your inner world. In the next section, we'll explore how Stoicism teaches us to focus on our responses rather than external events, a principle that further strengthens our ability to navigate life's challenges with resilience. Now, let's shift our focus to a powerful Stoic principle that can transform how we navigate life's challenges. Epictetus once said, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This quote captures the essence of Stoic wisdom, reminding us that while we can't always control external events, we always have control over our responses. This mindset is a game changer when it comes to reducing stress and building resilience. Think about it, life is full of unpredictable moments, traffic jams, unexpected setbacks, or even criticism from others. These events are often beyond our control, but our reaction to them is entirely within our power. Stoicism teaches us to pause and ask ourselves, how can I respond in a way that aligns with my values and preserves my peace of mind? By shifting our focus from what happens to us to how we choose to respond, we reclaim our agency and reduce the emotional toll of external circumstances. One practical way to apply this principle is through mindfulness. When faced with a stressful situation, take a moment to breathe deeply and observe your thoughts without judgment. This simple act creates a mental space between the event and your reaction, allowing you to respond thoughtfully rather than impulsively. Over time, this practice strengthens your ability to stay calm and composed even in the face of adversity. Another Stoic exercise that aligns with this idea is premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils. This involves imagining potential challenges or setbacks and mentally preparing for how you would handle them. By rehearsing your responses in advance, you build a sense of readiness and confidence, making it easier to stay grounded when difficulties arise. For example, if you're worried about an important presentation, visualize yourself staying calm and focused even if things don't go as planned. This mental rehearsal helps you approach challenges with resilience rather than fear. To see this principle in action, consider the story of Nelson Mandela. During his 27 years in prison, Mandela faced unimaginable hardships, yet he chose to respond with dignity, forgiveness, and a commitment to reconciliation. His ability to focus on his inner response rather than the external circumstances not only preserved his mental strength but also inspired a nation. Mandela's life is a testament to the power of Stoic resilience. As you reflect on this principle, remember that every challenge is an opportunity to practice this mindset. Whether it's a minor inconvenience or a major setback, your reaction is where your power lies. By choosing to respond with clarity and purpose, you not only reduce stress but also cultivate a resilience that empowers you to thrive in any situation. In the next section, we'll explore how shifting our perspective can further alleviate suffering and help us find peace in the face of adversity. Now, let's take a closer look at how we can actively build resilience by improving our ability to control our reactions. One of the most effective strategies is mindfulness, which helps us stay present and aware of our thoughts and emotions without being overwhelmed by them. By practicing mindfulness, we create a mental buffer that allows us to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. This can be as simple as taking a few deep breaths when faced with a stressful situation, giving yourself a moment to pause and reflect before acting. Another powerful tool is meditation, which trains the mind to remain calm and focused even in the midst of chaos. Regular meditation practice strengthens your ability to observe your thoughts without getting caught up in them, making it easier to maintain composure when challenges arise. Even just a few minutes of meditation each day can have a profound impact on your ability to handle stress and adversity. Stoic exercises like premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils, also play a key role in building resilience. This practice involves imagining potential challenges or setbacks and mentally preparing for how you would handle them. By visualizing difficult scenarios and rehearsing your responses, you develop a sense of readiness and confidence. For example, if you're worried about a difficult conversation at work, imagine yourself staying calm and composed, focusing on clear communication rather than defensiveness. This mental preparation helps you approach challenges with a sense of control rather than fear. To see this principle in action, consider the life of Marcus Aurelius, one of history's most famous Stoic philosophers and a Roman emperor. Despite the immense pressures of ruling an empire, Marcus Aurelius consistently practiced Stoic principles to maintain his composure and resilience. His personal writings, collected in Meditations, reveal how he used mindfulness, reflection, and mental preparation to navigate the challenges of leadership and life. By focusing on his inner response rather than external events, he was able to lead with wisdom and integrity, even in the face of immense adversity. As you work on building your own resilience, remember that it's a skill that grows with practice. Start small by incorporating mindfulness or meditation into your daily routine, and gradually explore Stoic exercises like premeditatio malorum. Over time, these practices will help you develop the mental strength to face life's challenges with calm and clarity. In the next section, we'll explore how shifting our perspective can further alleviate suffering and help us find peace in the face of adversity. Now, let's turn our attention to a profound insight from Marcus Aurelius. If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your own estimate of it. This quote invites us to examine how our perceptions shape our reality. Often, it's not the event or situation that causes us pain, but rather how we interpret and react to it. By shifting our perspective, we can transform our experience of suffering and find greater peace. Consider this: two people might face the same challenging situation, yet one feels overwhelmed while the other remains calm. The difference lies in their perceptions. The Stoics teach us that external events are neutral. It's our judgments about them that give them power over us. For example, losing a job might feel like a devastating blow, but it could also be seen as an opportunity to pursue a new path or rediscover your passions. The event itself hasn't changed, but your perspective on it has. So, how can we begin to change our perspective? One effective method is journaling. By writing down your thoughts and feelings, you create space to reflect on your reactions and question whether they're serving you. Ask yourself, is this situation truly as bad as I'm making it out to be? What's another way I could look at this? This practice helps you detach from automatic negative judgments and consider alternative viewpoints. Another powerful technique is seeking out alternative perspectives. Talk to someone you trust or read about how others have navigated similar challenges. Sometimes, simply hearing how someone else views a situation can open your mind to new possibilities. For instance, if you're struggling with a personal setback, learning about someone who turned a similar experience into a stepping stone for growth can inspire you to see your own situation differently. Gratitude practices also play a key role in shifting perspective. When we focus on what we're grateful for, even in difficult times, we train our minds to see the good alongside the bad. This doesn't mean ignoring pain or pretending everything is fine. It's about balancing our view so that we don't become consumed by negativity. For example, if you're dealing with a health issue, you might feel frustrated, but you could also focus on the support you're receiving or the strength you're discovering within yourself. To see this principle in action, think of someone like Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor and author of Man's Search for Meaning. Despite enduring unimaginable suffering, Frankl found meaning and purpose by shifting his perspective. He realized that while he couldn't control his circumstances, he could choose how he responded to them. This mindset not only helped him survive, but also inspired countless others to find strength in their own struggles. As you reflect on Marcus Aurelius's words, remember that your perspective is a powerful tool. By consciously choosing how you interpret events, you can reduce unnecessary suffering and find greater clarity and peace. In the next section, we'll explore how this idea connects to the Stoic concept of rising above negativity and maintaining integrity, even in the face of harm or injustice. Now, let's take a closer look at how we can actively shift our perspectives to reframe negative situations. One of the most accessible tools is journaling. When you write down your thoughts, you create a space to step back and observe your reactions objectively. This practice allows you to question whether your initial judgments are accurate or helpful. For instance, if you're feeling stuck in a difficult situation, journaling can help you uncover hidden opportunities or lessons you might have overlooked. It's like holding up a mirror to your mind, giving you the chance to see things more clearly. Another powerful way to shift your perspective is by seeking out alternative viewpoints. Sometimes we get so caught up in our own thoughts that we forget there are other ways to see a situation. Talking to a trusted friend, mentor, or even reading about how others have handled similar challenges can open your eyes to new possibilities. For example, if you're struggling with a career setback, hearing how someone else turned a similar experience into a launching pad for success can inspire you to rethink your own approach. It's a reminder that there's rarely just one way to interpret or respond to life's challenges. gratitude practices also play a crucial role in reshaping how we see the world. When we intentionally focus on what we're grateful for, even in tough times, we train our minds to notice the good alongside the bad. This doesn't mean ignoring pain or pretending everything is perfect. It's about creating a balanced perspective. For instance, if you're dealing with a health issue, you might feel frustrated, but you could also focus on the support you're receiving or the resilience you're building. Gratitude helps us see that even in difficult moments, there are still things worth appreciating. To see this principle in action, consider the story of Nick Vujicic, a motivational speaker born without arms or legs. Despite facing immense physical and emotional challenges, Nick chose to shift his perspective. Instead of focusing on what he lacked, he embraced gratitude for what he had: his voice, his ability to inspire others, and his unshakable faith. By changing his mindset, Nick transformed his life from one of despair to one of purpose and joy. His story is a powerful reminder that our perspective truly shapes our reality. As you reflect on these techniques, remember that shifting your perspective isn't about denying reality. It's about choosing how you engage with it. By practicing journaling, seeking alternative viewpoints, and cultivating gratitude, you can begin to see challenges not as obstacles but as opportunities for growth. In the next section, we'll explore how this idea connects to the Stoic principle of rising above negativity and maintaining integrity, even in the face of harm or injustice. Now, let's turn our attention to a profound Stoic principle that challenges our instinctive reactions to harm or injustice. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." At first glance, this might seem counterintuitive. After all, when someone wrongs us, our natural impulse is often to retaliate or seek justice in a way that mirrors the harm done to us. But Stoicism invites us to take a different path, one that prioritizes integrity over vengeance. This quote reminds us that true strength lies not in matching negativity with negativity, but in choosing to rise above it. When we respond to injury with kindness, patience, or even indifference, we reclaim our power. Instead of allowing someone else's actions to dictate our behavior, we demonstrate that our character is unshaken. This doesn't mean ignoring the harm or pretending it doesn't hurt. It means refusing to let that harm define us or drag us down to the same level as the person who caused it. Consider this: when we retaliate, we often give the other person exactly what they want, a reaction. We validate their behavior and, in some cases, even escalate the conflict. But when we choose to act with integrity, we break the cycle. We show that their actions have no power over us, and in doing so, we rob them of the satisfaction they might have sought. This is the essence of Stoic revenge: not seeking to harm, but striving to remain true to our values no matter what. A practical way to embody this principle is through self-reflection. When faced with injustice, ask yourself, what kind of person do I want to be in this moment? The answer will guide you toward actions that align with your highest self rather than your lowest impulses. It's not about being passive or weak, it's about being intentional and strong. By choosing to act with dignity, you not only protect your own peace but also set an example for others. To see this idea in action, think of historical figures like Nelson Mandela. After spending 27 years in prison, he emerged not with bitterness, but with a commitment to reconciliation and unity. Instead of seeking revenge against those who oppressed him, he chose to lead with compassion and forgiveness. His actions not only transformed a nation, but also demonstrated the immense power of rising above negativity. As we reflect on Marcus Aurelius' words, let's remember that the best revenge isn't about getting even, it's about becoming better. It's about proving through our actions that we are capable of more than anger or pettiness. In the next section, we'll explore how this principle connects to the Stoic practice of forgiveness and how letting go of resentment can free us to live more fully. Now, let's take a closer look at how we can put this Stoic principle into practice by focusing on forgiveness. Forgiveness, in the Stoic sense, isn't about excusing harmful behavior or pretending it didn't happen. Instead, it's about freeing ourselves from the weight of resentment and reclaiming our inner peace. When we hold on to anger or bitterness, we allow the person who wronged us to continue controlling our emotions even long after the event has passed. Forgiveness, then, becomes an act of self-liberation, a way to break free from the chains of negativity and move forward with clarity and strength. One practical way to cultivate forgiveness is through perspective taking. Try to understand the motivations or circumstances that may have led the other person to act as they did. This doesn't mean justifying their actions, but rather recognizing that their behavior often stems from their own struggles, fears, or misunderstandings. By shifting our perspective, we can begin to see the situation as a reflection of their limitations, rather than a personal attack on us. This subtle shift can make it easier to let go of resentment and focus on our own growth. Another powerful tool is journaling. Writing down your thoughts and feelings about the situation can help you process your emotions and gain clarity. You might start by acknowledging the hurt you've experienced, then gradually shift your focus to how you can grow from the experience. Ask yourself questions like, "What can I learn from this?" or "How can I use this to become a stronger, more compassionate person?" Over time, this practice can help you reframe the experience as an opportunity for personal development rather than a source of pain. To see the transformative power of forgiveness in action, consider the story of Eva Kor, a Holocaust survivor. After enduring unimaginable suffering at the hands of the Nazis, Eva made the extraordinary decision to forgive her tormentors. She didn't do this to excuse their actions, but to free herself from the burden of hatred. By choosing forgiveness, Eva reclaimed her power and found a sense of peace that allowed her to live a life of purpose and advocacy. Her story is a testament to the strength and resilience that forgiveness can bring, even in the face of profound injustice. As we reflect on Marcus Aurelius' wisdom, let's remember that forgiveness isn't about the other person, it's about us. It's about choosing to rise above the pain and refusing to let it define us. When we forgive, we take back control of our lives and open ourselves to new possibilities. In the next section, we'll explore how courage plays a vital role in Stoic philosophy and how facing our fears can lead to true freedom. Now, let's turn our attention to Seneca's powerful words, "He who is brave is free." At first glance, this quote might seem simple, but it carries a profound truth about the relationship between courage and freedom in Stoic philosophy. Courage, in the Stoic sense, isn't just about physical bravery or daring feat. It's about the inner strength to confront our fears, doubts, and insecurities. When we face these challenges head-on, we break free from the invisible chains that hold us back, whether they're self-imposed limitations or external pressures. In this way, courage becomes the key to true freedom. Think about it. How often do we let fear dictate our choices? Fear of failure, fear of judgment, or even fear of the unknown can keep us stuck in routines or situations that don't serve us. Stoicism teaches us that these fears are often exaggerated by our minds, and by summoning the courage to confront them, we can reclaim control over our lives. It's not that the fears disappear entirely, but rather that we learn to act despite them. This is where freedom lies, not in the absence of fear, but in the ability to move forward in spite of it. Consider the example of someone who's afraid of public speaking. The fear might feel paralyzing, but by taking small, brave steps like speaking up in a meeting or volunteering for a presentation, they begin to chip away at that fear. Over time, what once seemed impossible becomes manageable and eventually even empowering. This process of facing fears doesn't just build confidence, it expands our sense of what's possible, opening doors to new opportunities and experiences. In this way, courage becomes a liberating force, freeing us from the constraints of our own minds. Seneca's insight reminds us that freedom isn't something we're given, it's something we earn through our actions. Every time we choose courage over comfort, we take a step toward a more liberated and fulfilling life. And while the path may not always be easy, the rewards are immeasurable. As we continue, we'll explore practical ways to cultivate this kind of courage in our daily lives, so we can embrace the freedom that comes with it. Now that we've explored the profound connection between courage and freedom, let's dive into how we can actively cultivate this courage in our own lives. Embracing courage doesn't mean we need to perform grand, heroic acts. It's often found in the small, everyday choices that push us beyond our comfort zones. One of the most effective ways to build courage is by taking incremental steps toward what scares us. For instance, if you're nervous about speaking in public, start by sharing your thoughts in smaller, more familiar settings, like a team meeting or a casual gathering. Each small act of bravery builds confidence and prepares you for bigger challenges. Another powerful way to develop courage is by seeking inspiration from those who have demonstrated extraordinary bravery. History is filled with figures who faced immense adversity with unwavering resolve. Take someone like Harriet Tubman, who risked her life repeatedly to lead others to freedom through the Underground Railroad. Her story reminds us that courage isn't the absence of fear, but the determination to act despite it. By studying the lives of such individuals, we can draw strength and motivation to face our own fears. Practicing courage also involves reframing how we view failure. Stoicism teaches us that failure isn't something to be feared, but rather an opportunity for growth. When we step out of our comfort zones, we're bound to stumble at times, but each stumble teaches us valuable lessons. Instead of seeing failure as a setback, we can view it as a stepping stone toward greater resilience and self-mastery. This mindset shift can make it easier to take risks and embrace challenges. Finally, courage grows when we surround ourselves with supportive, encouraging people. Sharing our fears and aspirations with trusted friends or mentors can provide the encouragement we need to take bold steps. Their belief in us can often help us see our own potential more clearly, giving us the push we need to act courageously. As we continue, we'll explore how these small acts of bravery can ripple out, transforming not just our own lives but also inspiring those around us. Courage, after all, is contagious, and by embracing it, we not only free ourselves but also create a path for others to follow. Moving forward, let's reflect on a powerful reminder from Marcus Aurelius. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. This quote cuts to the heart of Stoicism's emphasis on action over words. It's easy to get caught up in endless debates about what it means to live a virtuous life. But Stoicism challenges us to stop theorizing and start embodying those virtues in our daily actions. After all, wisdom isn't found in lofty discussions, it's proven through the way we live. The Stoics believed that virtue isn't something to be debated, it's something to be practiced. Marcus Aurelius, as both a philosopher and a Roman emperor, understood this deeply. His life was a testament to the idea that true goodness comes from consistent, intentional actions, not just well-crafted arguments. Whether it's showing kindness to a stranger, standing up for what's right, or simply doing your best in the face of adversity, virtue is revealed in the choices we make every day. This principle is especially relevant in our modern world, where it's tempting to spend hours discussing ideals on social media or in conversations, yet fail to act on them. Stoicism reminds us that the measure of our character isn't in what we say, but in what we do. For example, instead of debating the importance of honesty, we can choose to be truthful in our interactions. Instead of arguing about justice, we can take small steps to treat others fairly and stand up against injustice when we see it. Living virtuously also means aligning our actions with our values, even when it's difficult. It's about showing up as the best version of ourselves, not just when it's convenient, but especially when it's hard. This might mean admitting when we're wrong, forgiving someone who has hurt us, or making sacrifices for the greater good. These actions, though often small, are the building blocks of a virtuous life. As we consider this quote, let's ask ourselves, are we spending more time talking about what it means to be good, or are we actively striving to live it out? The Stoics would argue that the latter is where true wisdom lies. By focusing on action rather than debate, we not only improve ourselves but also inspire those around us to do the same. And in this way, we create a ripple effect of virtue that extends far beyond our own lives. Next, we'll explore how this commitment to action can transform not just our personal lives, but also the world around us, as we delve into the Stoic idea of living with purpose and integrity. Now, let's turn our attention to how we can actively live out these Stoic virtues in our own lives. Living virtuously isn't about grand gestures or dramatic displays. It's about the small, consistent choices we make every day. To embody wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, we need practical steps that guide us toward a life of integrity and purpose. First, let's talk about wisdom. Wisdom, in the Stoic sense, means understanding what is within our control and what isn't. One way to cultivate this is through daily reflection. Take a few moments each evening to review your day, what went well, what didn't, and what lessons you can carry forward. This practice helps you develop clarity and discernment, allowing you to make wiser decisions over time. A great example of this is Benjamin Franklin, who famously kept a journal to track his progress in living virtuously, focusing on one virtue at a time. Next, courage. Courage isn't just about facing physical danger. It's about standing up for what's right, even when it's uncomfortable. Start small, speak up when you see injustice, or take on a challenge that pushes you out of your comfort zone. Nelson Mandela is a powerful example of someone who embodied courage. Despite decades of imprisonment, he remained steadfast in his commitment to justice and equality, showing us that true courage lies in perseverance and moral strength. Justice in Stoicism is about treating others with fairness and kindness. This means being honest in your dealings, standing up for those who can't defend themselves, and contributing to your community. A simple way to practice justice is to volunteer your time or resources to causes you care about. Consider the life of Mahatma Gandhi, who dedicated his life to fighting for justice through non-violent resistance, proving that even the smallest acts of fairness can lead to profound change. Finally, temperance, the virtue of self-control and moderation. This is about resisting the pull of excess, whether it's in our desires, emotions, or actions. Practice temperance by setting boundaries for yourself, whether it's limiting screen time, eating mindfully, or managing your reactions in stressful situations. The Roman statesman Cato the Younger is often cited as a model of temperance, living a life of simplicity and discipline even in the face of great power and temptation. By integrating these virtues into our daily lives, we not only improve ourselves but also contribute to a better world. Each small act of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance builds on the last, creating a life of meaning and impact. As we move forward, let's remember that living virtuously isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Every step we take toward embodying these principles brings us closer to the Stoic ideal of a life well lived. Next, we'll explore how these virtues can help us navigate life's challenges with resilience and grace, as we dive into the Stoic practice of focusing on what's within our control. Now, let's shift our focus to a powerful insight from Marcus Aurelius. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. This quote captures the essence of Stoic philosophy, the idea that while we can't control what happens to us, we can always control how we respond. This distinction between external events and internal reactions is at the heart of Stoic wisdom, offering us a profound sense of empowerment in the face of life's uncertainties. The Stoics believed that our greatest source of strength lies in our ability to govern our thoughts and emotions. External events, whether it's a sudden setback, a difficult person, or an unexpected challenge, are often beyond our control. But our mind, that's our domain. By focusing on what we can control, our judgments, our attitudes, and our actions, we free ourselves from the turmoil of trying to change the unchangeable. This shift in perspective doesn't just reduce stress, it builds resilience, allowing us to face adversity with calm and confidence. Think about it this way: life is like a stormy sea. The waves representing external events are unpredictable and often overwhelming, but the Stoic approach teaches us to anchor ourselves in the knowledge that we can't stop the waves, but we can learn to navigate them. By mastering our internal world, we become the captains of our own ships, steering through challenges with clarity and purpose. This is why Marcus Aurelius emphasized the power of the mind. It's the one thing no one can take from us, no matter the circumstances. To put this into practice, start by identifying areas where you've been trying to control the uncontrollable. Are you stressing over a situation at work that's out of your hands? Worrying about how others perceive you? These are moments where Stoic wisdom can guide you. Instead of resisting what you can't change, focus on how you can respond with integrity and calm. Journaling can be a powerful tool here. Write down what's troubling you, then ask yourself, what part of this is within my control? This simple exercise helps you redirect your energy toward what truly matters. A modern example of this principle in action is Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor and psychologist. Despite enduring unimaginable suffering, Frankl realized that even in the most dire circumstances, he retained the power to choose his attitude. This realization became the foundation of his work, showing us that our greatest freedom lies in how we choose to respond to life's challenges. His story is a testament to the strength that comes from focusing on internal control. As we move forward, remember that the power of the mind is your greatest ally. By embracing this Stoic principle, you'll not only find strength in difficult times, but also cultivate a sense of peace and confidence that carries you through life's ups and downs. Next, we'll explore how this internal focus can help us align our thoughts with Stoic virtues, creating a life of deeper meaning and purpose. Now, let's dive deeper into how we can harness the inner strength Marcus Aurelius spoke of. One of the most effective ways to build mental resilience is through meditation. By setting aside even a few minutes each day to sit in stillness, you create space to observe your thoughts without judgment. This practice helps you detach from external chaos and reconnect with your inner calm. Over time, meditation strengthens your ability to remain centered, no matter what life throws your way. Another powerful tool is journaling. Writing down your thoughts and reflections allows you to process emotions and gain clarity. Try starting each day by jotting down 3 things you're grateful for. This simple act shifts your focus from what's lacking to what's abundant in your life, fostering a mindset of gratitude. Gratitude, in turn, acts as a shield against negativity, helping you maintain perspective even in challenging times. Practicing gratitude doesn't just change your mindset, it changes your life. Consider the story of James Stockdale, a naval officer and Stoic philosopher who endured 7 years as a prisoner of war during the Vietnam War. Despite the brutal conditions, Stockdale relied on Stoic principles to survive. He focused on what he could control: his thoughts, his attitude, and his commitment to his values. By practicing gratitude for the small victories, like surviving another day, he found the strength to endure. His story is a powerful reminder that even in the darkest moments, we can tap into our inner resilience. To apply these practices in your own life, start small. Dedicate 5 minutes each morning to meditation or journaling. Reflect on what you're grateful for and remind yourself of what's within your control. Over time, these habits will build your mental resilience, helping you face challenges with a calm and steady mind. As we continue, we'll explore how aligning our thoughts with Stoic virtues can deepen our sense of purpose and meaning. But for now, remember this: the strength you seek is already within you. By cultivating practices like meditation, journaling, and gratitude, you unlock the power to navigate life's storms with grace and resilience. Moving forward, let's explore another profound insight from Marcus Aurelius. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. This quote beautifully captures the idea that our thoughts are not just fleeting moments in our minds, they shape who we are and how we act in the world. Think of your mind as a canvas and every thought as a brushstroke. Over time, these strokes create the masterpiece that is your character. If your thoughts are filled with negativity, fear, or doubt, your soul, your essence will reflect those darker hues. But if you fill your mind with positivity, virtue, and clarity, your soul will radiate those brighter, more vibrant colors. This concept is central to Stoic philosophy. The Stoics believed that our thoughts are the foundation of our actions. If we allow ourselves to dwell on anger, jealousy, or resentment, those emotions will inevitably spill over into how we treat others and how we navigate challenges. On the other hand, when we cultivate thoughts of kindness, courage, and gratitude, we naturally act in ways that align with those virtues. It's not just about thinking positively, it's about thinking wisely, in a way that reflects the values we want to embody. So, how can we ensure our thoughts are dyeing our souls in the right colors? One practical step is to practice mindfulness. Pay attention to the thoughts that arise throughout the day. Are they serving you or are they holding you back? When you notice a negative thought, don't suppress it, acknowledge it, and then gently redirect your focus to something more constructive. This simple act of awareness can help you take control of your mental landscape. Another powerful tool is to immerse yourself in uplifting influences. Surround yourself with people, books, and media that inspire you to think and act virtuously. Just as a painter chooses their palette carefully, you can choose the influences that shape your thoughts. Over time, these choices will help you develop a character that reflects the best version of yourself. Marcus Aurelius himself used journaling as a way to refine his thoughts. By writing down his reflections, he was able to examine his mind and ensure his thoughts aligned with his values. You can do the same. At the end of each day, take a few moments to reflect on your thoughts and actions. Were they in harmony with the virtues you admire? If not, consider how you can adjust your mindset moving forward. Ultimately, this quote reminds us that we have the power to shape our own character through the thoughts we choose to nurture. By cultivating positive, virtuous thoughts, we not only improve ourselves but also create a ripple effect that touches everyone around us. As we continue, we'll look at how embracing challenges can further strengthen our minds and deepen our wisdom. Now, let's dive deeper into how we can actively dye our souls with virtuous thoughts. One of the most effective ways to align your thoughts with Stoic virtues is through daily reflection. Take a few moments each morning or evening to pause and consider your mental state. Ask yourself questions like, what thoughts dominated my mind today? Or did my actions reflect the values I hold dear? This practice not only helps you become more aware of your thought patterns, but also allows you to consciously steer them toward virtue. Think of it as a daily check-in with your inner self, ensuring your mental canvas stays vibrant and true to your ideals. Another powerful method is to immerse yourself in Stoic texts. Reading the works of Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, or Epictetus can serve as a constant reminder of the principles you aspire to live by. These writings are not just philosophical musings, they are practical guides that offer timeless wisdom on how to navigate life's challenges with grace and integrity. By regularly engaging with these texts, you reinforce virtuous thinking and keep your mind aligned with Stoic ideals. It's like having a mentor whispering in your ear, guiding you toward a more thoughtful and intentional way of living. Surrounding yourself with positive influences is equally important. The people you spend time with, the media you consume, and the environment you inhabit all play a role in shaping your thoughts. Seek out individuals who inspire you to be your best self, those who embody the virtues of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Similarly, limit exposure to negativity, whether it's toxic relationships, pessimistic news, or mindless entertainment. By curating your external influences, you create a fertile ground for virtuous thoughts to flourish. Journaling, as Marcus Aurelius demonstrated, is another invaluable tool. Writing down your thoughts and reflections allows you to process your experiences and examine them through the lens of Stoic philosophy. It's a way to hold yourself accountable and track your progress in cultivating a virtuous mindset. Over time, you'll notice patterns in your thinking and identify areas where you can improve. Journaling transforms abstract ideas into concrete actions, helping you live in alignment with your values. Finally, consider incorporating gratitude into your daily routine. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's lacking to what's abundant in your life, fostering a mindset of contentment and appreciation. This simple practice can counteract negative thoughts and help you see the world through a more optimistic lens. By regularly acknowledging the good in your life, you reinforce positive thinking and strengthen your connection to Stoic virtues. As we move forward, we'll explore how embracing challenges can further strengthen our minds and deepen our wisdom, building on the foundation of virtuous thinking we've just discussed. Now, let's turn our attention to Seneca's powerful insight. Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body. This quote captures the essence of the Stoic perspective on adversity, a perspective that sees challenges not as obstacles to avoid, but as opportunities to grow. Just as physical labor builds muscle and endurance, mental and emotional struggles fortify our inner strength and resilience. The Stoics believed that every difficulty we face is a chance to practice virtue, to test our limits, and to emerge wiser and more capable than before. Think about it this way: when we encounter a problem, our natural instinct might be to resist or complain, but Stoicism teaches us to shift our mindset. Instead of viewing hardships as setbacks, we can see them as training grounds for our character. Each challenge is an invitation to exercise patience, courage, and perseverance. It's in these moments of struggle that we discover what we're truly made of. By embracing difficulties, we not only build mental toughness, but also cultivate a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. Consider the example of a tree growing in harsh conditions. A tree exposed to strong winds develops deeper roots and a sturdier trunk. Similarly, when we face adversity, we grow stronger and more resilient. The Stoics understood this principle well. They saw life's trials as essential for developing wisdom and virtue. Without challenges, we would remain untested and unprepared for the complexities of life. It's through overcoming difficulties that we gain the clarity and strength needed to navigate future obstacles with confidence. So, how can we apply this Stoic wisdom in our own lives? Start by reframing your perspective on challenges. When you encounter a difficult situation, ask yourself, what can I learn from this, or how can this make me stronger? This shift in mindset transforms adversity from a source of frustration into a tool for growth. Additionally, practice gratitude for the lessons that challenges bring. Even in the midst of hardship, there is always something to be gained, whether it's a new skill, a deeper sense of resilience, or a clearer understanding of your priorities. As we continue, we'll explore how embracing these challenges not only strengthens our minds, but also prepares us to live more fully and courageously, building on the foundation of resilience we've just discussed. Now, let's take a closer look at how we can actively embrace challenges and turn them into opportunities for growth. One effective strategy is to set growth-oriented goals. Instead of focusing solely on the outcome, shift your attention to what you can learn or how you can improve through the process. For example, if you're facing a difficult project at work, set a goal to develop a new skill or strengthen your problem-solving abilities. This approach not only makes the challenge more manageable, but also ensures that you come out of it stronger and more capable. Another powerful way to reframe difficulties is by seeking lessons in every setback. When something doesn't go as planned, ask yourself, what can this teach me? Or how can I use this experience to grow? This mindset transforms obstacles into stepping stones, allowing you to extract value even from the toughest situations. The Stoics believed that every challenge carries a hidden lesson, and by actively looking for it, we can turn adversity into a source of wisdom. consider the story of Thomas Edison, who famously faced countless failures while inventing the light bulb. Instead of viewing each failed attempt as a defeat, he saw them as opportunities to learn and refine his approach. He once said, "I have not failed, I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." This relentless pursuit of progress, even in the face of repeated setbacks, is a perfect example of embracing challenges with a Stoic mindset. Edison's ability to reframe failure as a necessary part of the journey ultimately led to one of the most transformative inventions in history. To apply this in your own life, start by identifying a current challenge and breaking it down into smaller, actionable steps. Focus on what you can control and set incremental goals that align with your growth. Additionally, keep a journal to reflect on your experiences and the lessons you've learned along the way. This practice not only helps you track your progress, but also reinforces the idea that every difficulty is an opportunity to grow. As we move forward, we'll explore how these strategies not only help us overcome challenges, but also prepare us to face future obstacles with greater confidence and resilience. By embracing adversity, we not only strengthen our minds, but also unlock our potential to live more fully and courageously. Now, let's shift our focus to a profound Stoic idea that challenges one of humanity's deepest fears, the fear of death. Seneca's quote, "He who fears death will never do anything worth of a man who is alive," invites us to confront this fear head-on. The Stoics believed that the fear of death often holds us back from living fully. When we're consumed by the thought of our mortality, we may hesitate to take risks, pursue meaningful goals, or embrace life's uncertainties. But Stoicism teaches us that accepting death as a natural part of life can actually liberate us to live with greater courage and purpose. At its core, this quote reminds us that death is inevitable, and fearing it only robs us of the present moment. Instead of allowing this fear to paralyze us, the Stoics encourage us to use the awareness of our mortality as a motivator. When we truly grasp that our time is limited, we're more likely to prioritize what matters most, whether it's nurturing relationships, pursuing passions, or contributing to something greater than ourselves. This perspective doesn't diminish the value of life. Rather, it amplifies it by urging us to make the most of the time we have. Consider the example of Steve Jobs, who famously spoke about how remembering that he would die helped him make bold decisions. He once said, "Remembering that I'll be dead soon is the most important tool I've ever encountered to help me make the big choices in life." Jobs' ability to embrace his mortality allowed him to innovate fearlessly and leave a lasting impact on the world. His story illustrates how accepting death can free us from the constraints of fear and empower us to live authentically. To apply this Stoic principle in your own life, start by reflecting on your relationship with mortality. Ask yourself, if I weren't afraid of death, what would I do differently? This question can help you identify areas where fear might be holding you back. Next, practice focusing on the present moment. The Stoics believe that the past is gone, the future is uncertain, and the only time we truly have is now. By grounding yourself in the present, you can begin to let go of anxieties about the future and live more intentionally. As we continue, we'll explore how this acceptance of mortality not only frees us to live courageously, but also helps us cultivate a deeper appreciation for life itself. By embracing the Stoic perspective on death, we can transform our fear into a source of strength and clarity, enabling us to live with greater purpose and fulfillment. Now, let's take a closer look at how we can truly embrace life without letting the fear of death hold us back. One of the most powerful ways to do this is by focusing on the present moment. The Stoics believed that the present is all we truly have, the past is gone, and the future is uncertain. By anchoring ourselves in the here and now, we can let go of anxieties about what might happen and instead fully engage with the life we're living. This doesn't mean ignoring the future entirely, but rather not allowing it to overshadow the opportunities and joys of today. Another key to living fully is pursuing meaningful goals. When we align our actions with what truly matters to us, we create a sense of purpose that transcends fear. Whether it's building meaningful relationships, contributing to a cause we care about, or pursuing a passion, these endeavors give our lives depth and direction. The Stoics remind us that it's not the length of our lives that matters, but the quality of how we live them. By focusing on what we can control, our choices, our actions, and our attitudes, we can live with intention and courage. Consider the story of Christopher Reeve, best known for his role as Superman. After a tragic accident left him paralyzed, Reeve faced immense physical and emotional challenges. Yet, instead of succumbing to despair, he chose to live boldly. He became an advocate for spinal cord research and inspired millions with his resilience and determination. Reeve's life is a testament to the idea that even in the face of immense adversity, we can choose to live with purpose and meaning. His story shows us that embracing life fully isn't about avoiding hardship, but about finding strength and purpose within it. To start living more fully today, try this simple exercise. Each morning, take a moment to reflect on what truly matters to you. Ask yourself, if today were my last day, how would I want to spend it? This question can help you prioritize what's important and let go of distractions. Then, take one small step toward a goal or passion that aligns with your values. Over time, these small actions can add up to a life lived with courage, purpose, and joy. As we move forward, we'll explore how this mindset of embracing life fully can also help us build resilience and find deeper meaning in our daily experiences. By adopting the Stoic perspective on mortality, we can transform our fear into a driving force for living authentically and boldly. Now, let's shift our focus to the company we keep and how it shapes our lives. Epictetus once said, "The key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best." This quote reminds us that the people we surround ourselves with have a profound impact on our mindset, growth, and overall happiness. Think about it. When you're around individuals who inspire, encourage, and challenge you to be better, you naturally rise to the occasion. Their energy and attitude can elevate your own, helping you unlock your potential and stay aligned with your values. On the flip side, spending time with those who drain your energy or pull you away from your goals can hinder your progress. The Stoics understood that our environment, including the people in it, plays a significant role in shaping our character and influencing our decisions. By choosing to surround ourselves with positive influences, we create a supportive network that fosters growth and resilience. This doesn't mean cutting off everyone who disagrees with us, but rather being intentional about who we allow into our inner circle. Consider the story of Oprah Winfrey, who often speaks about the importance of surrounding herself with people who challenge and inspire her. Early in her career, she made a conscious effort to seek out mentors and peers who pushed her to grow, even when it was uncomfortable. This deliberate choice helped her build a life of purpose and success, proving that the company we keep can be a powerful catalyst for transformation. To apply this principle in your own life, start by reflecting on your current relationships. Ask yourself, do the people I spend the most time with uplift me and encourage me to be my best self? If the answer isn't a resounding yes, consider how you can nurture relationships that align with your values and goals. This might mean setting boundaries, seeking out new connections, or even having honest conversations with those around you. Remember, it's not about perfection, but progress. Small steps toward building a supportive circle can lead to significant changes over time. As we continue, we'll explore how this idea of intentional relationships ties into the broader Stoic practice of aligning our actions with our values. By surrounding ourselves with those who uplift us, we not only enhance our own lives, but also create a ripple effect of positivity and growth in the world around us. Now, let's take a closer look at how we can actively choose and nurture relationships that align with Stoic values. One practical step is to evaluate the energy and influence of the people in your life. Start by asking yourself, Do these relationships bring me closer to my goals, or do they pull me away from them? This simple question can help you identify which connections are worth investing in and which ones might need re-evaluation. A helpful exercise is to create a list of the people you interact with most frequently. Next to each name, jot down how you feel after spending time with them: energized, inspired, drained, or indifferent. This exercise isn't about judging others, but about understanding how these relationships affect your well-being and growth. From there, you can make more intentional choices about who you spend your time with. Another tip is to seek out individuals who embody the Stoic virtues of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. These are the people who challenge you to think critically, act with integrity, and remain disciplined in the face of adversity. Surrounding yourself with such individuals can help you stay grounded and focused on what truly matters. Consider the story of James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits. Early in his career, he realized that his social circle wasn't aligned with his aspirations. He made a conscious decision to distance himself from negative influences and seek out mentors and peers who shared his commitment to growth and self-improvement. This shift not only transformed his career, but also deepened his understanding of how small, intentional changes can lead to significant results over time. His story is a powerful reminder that the people we choose to surround ourselves with can shape our habits, mindset, and ultimately, our destiny. To nurture these positive relationships, make an effort to show gratitude and appreciation. A simple thank you or a heartfelt acknowledgement of someone's impact on your life can strengthen your bond and encourage mutual growth. Additionally, be open to giving and receiving constructive feedback. Stoicism teaches us to value truth and self-improvement, and honest conversations can help both parties grow. Finally, remember that building a supportive circle is an ongoing process. It's not about perfection, but about progress. Start small, perhaps by joining a community or group that shares your values, or by reaching out to someone you admire. Over time, these intentional choices will create a network of relationships that uplift and inspire you, helping you live a life aligned with Stoic principles. As we move forward, we'll explore how these intentional relationships connect to the broader Stoic practice of aligning our actions with our values. By surrounding ourselves with those who uplift us, we not only enhance our own lives, but also contribute to a ripple effect of positivity and growth in the world around us. Now, let's turn our attention to a powerful piece of wisdom from Epictetus. First, say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. This quote speaks to the heart of Stoic philosophy, emphasizing the importance of clarity and intentionality in shaping our lives. At its core, it's a call to define who we want to be, and then take deliberate steps to align our actions with that vision. Stoicism teaches us that true fulfillment comes from living in harmony with our values. But before we can act, we must first gain clarity about what those values are. What kind of person do you aspire to be? What principles guide your decisions? These questions are essential because they serve as the foundation for everything we do. Without a clear sense of direction, our efforts can feel scattered and ineffective. Epictetus reminds us that self-awareness is the first step toward meaningful action. Once we've defined our values, the next step is to act in accordance with them. This is where intentionality comes into play. It's not enough to simply know what we stand for. We must actively live it out in our daily choices. For example, if you value honesty, you might make a conscious effort to speak truthfully, even when it's uncomfortable. If you prioritize courage, you might challenge yourself to face fears or take risks that align with your goals. The key is to bridge the gap between thought and action, ensuring that what we do reflects who we want to be. This principle is especially relevant in a world filled with distractions and competing priorities. It's easy to lose sight of our values when we're pulled in multiple directions, but Stoicism encourages us to stay grounded by regularly revisiting our intentions and evaluating whether our actions are in line with them. One practical way to do this is through journaling. Taking a few minutes each day to reflect on your goals and assess your progress can help you stay focused and accountable. Consider the story of someone like Michelle Obama, who has often spoken about the importance of living with purpose. Early in her career, she made a conscious decision to align her work with her values of service and empowerment. By staying true to her vision, she was able to create a meaningful impact not only in her professional life but also in her personal endeavors. Her journey is a testament to the power of clarity and intentionality in achieving one's goals. Ultimately, Epictetus's quote is a reminder that we have the power to shape our lives through our choices. By first defining who we want to be and then taking consistent action toward that ideal, we can create a life that is not only successful but also deeply fulfilling. As we move forward, we'll explore how this principle connects to the broader Stoic practice of aligning our actions with our values, ensuring that every step we take brings us closer to the person we aspire to become. Now, let's dive deeper into how we can align our actions with our values, turning intention into tangible results. One of the most effective ways to start is by creating a personal mission statement. This isn't just a lofty declaration, it's a clear, concise statement that reflects your core values and the kind of life you want to lead. Think of it as your guiding star, helping you make decisions that are consistent with who you aspire to be. For example, if your mission is to live a life of compassion and service, your daily actions might include volunteering, mentoring, or simply being more present for the people around you. Once you've defined your mission, the next step is to break your goals into actionable steps. Big dreams can feel overwhelming, but when you break them down into smaller, manageable tasks, they become much more achievable. Let's say your goal is to write a book. Instead of focusing on the entire project, start by setting a daily word count or dedicating specific hours to writing. This approach not only makes the goal less daunting, but also helps you build momentum as you see progress over time. Another practical tip is to regularly review your actions and assess whether they align with your values. This doesn't have to be a lengthy process. Even a quick daily reflection can make a big difference. Ask yourself, did my actions today reflect the person I want to be? If the answer is no, don't be discouraged. Use it as an opportunity to recalibrate and make adjustments moving forward. Remember, alignment is a continuous process, not a one-time event. Consider the story of someone like Oprah Winfrey, who has consistently aligned her actions with her values of empowerment and authenticity. Early in her career, she made a conscious decision to use her platform to uplift others, even when it meant taking risks or facing criticism. By staying true to her mission, she not only achieved incredible success, but also created a lasting impact that continues to inspire millions. Her journey is a powerful example of how intentional living can lead to both personal fulfillment and meaningful contributions to the world. Ultimately, aligning your actions with your values is about creating a life that feels authentic and purposeful. It's not about perfection, but about progress. By taking small, consistent steps toward your goals and regularly reflecting on your journey, you can ensure that your actions are in harmony with the person you aspire to be. As we move forward, we'll explore how this principle connects to the broader Stoic practice of living a life of virtue and wisdom, ensuring that every choice you make brings you closer to your highest potential. As we wrap up our journey through these 25 Stoic quotes on wisdom, it's clear that the teachings of Stoicism are as relevant today as they were thousands of years ago. From Seneca's reminder that much of our suffering is self-created, to Marcus Aurelius' emphasis on the power of our thoughts, these timeless principles offer us a roadmap for living with clarity, resilience, and purpose. Each quote serves as a gentle nudge to focus on what we can control, to cultivate inner strength, and to align our actions with our deepest values. The beauty of Stoicism lies in its practicality. It's not just a philosophy to ponder, it's a way of life to embody. Whether it's through journaling, mindfulness, or simply pausing to reflect before reacting, these practices can help us navigate life's challenges with greater wisdom and grace. The stories of individuals like Oprah Winfrey who have lived by these principles remind us that the pursuit of virtue and wisdom isn't just about personal growth, it's about creating a positive impact on the world around us. Now it's your turn. Take these lessons and apply them in your own life. Start small, perhaps by choosing one quote that resonates with you and reflecting on how it can guide your decisions and actions. Share your favorite quote or a personal experience in the comments below. I'd love to hear how Stoicism has influenced your journey. And if you found value in this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on more insights to help you live a wiser, more fulfilling life. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of Stoic wisdom, and remember, the path to a better life begins with the choices you make today.